This is your last chance to stop using lead portals. So right here, I'm gonna read you a few reviews from numerous different lead portals that franchise consultants have left. So the first one is FranchiseGator. Well above average quantity, but below average quality. A lot of bad phone numbers. I've never heard of that franchise. You're the 10th broker that has already called me today. Next, Franchise Help. Sadly, they can produce some decent leads, but have a reputation for selling real-time leads that are actually just old leads that have been in their database for months to years. Next is Franchise Click. Run. They track all the franchises you have looked at, but decided not to request info on you. Yup, they actually sell those poor souls the leads too. They sell a lead to a franchise that the visitor viewed, yet decided not to request info on. Now, I have various amounts of different reviews on different sites, but these are the sites that franchise consultants across this industry are spending real money on every single month. And none of this is hidden. The complaints are published. The numbers are out there. So let's break down why the portal system is broken, why it's only going to get worse, and what the consultants who figure this out early are doing instead. Let me break down what a lead portal actually is in one sentence. Someone is browsing the internet, they click request more information on some franchise directory website, and that click gets sold, not to you specifically, to whoever is paying. And in most cases, that means multiple consultants receive the exact same person's contact info at the exact same moment. So you didn't get a candidate, you got a name on a list that 5 to 15 other people also just received at the same time. Picture that. You get the lead notification, you start dialing, and 14 other consultants in your industry are dialing the same exact number at the same second. With FranchiseGator specifically, you need to call back within 5 to 10 minutes or someone else is already on the phone with them. Not because that person is in a rush, because a dozen other consultants are racing you to the same human being. So just think about this for a second, right? These lead portal websites are selling you the same leads that other consultants are buying, right? Which is creating a lot of saturation in the market. These leads are being handed to a bunch of different competitors. According to Lead PPC, it takes anywhere from 50 to 200 leads just to sell a single franchise. Closure rates on portal leads range from 0.5% to around 5%. A franchise consultant recently told me he spends $80 to $150 per leads on these portals. At $80 a lead and 200 leads to close, that's $16,000 in lead spend for one placement. And then you still don't get paid for another 6 to 12 months after that. Commission only. Nothing coming in while you're chasing all the people who are never going to place. And here's what nobody wants to say out loud. This has been the model for decades. Buy leads, call fast, hope for the best. The reason consultants keep paying into it, even when they know the leads are bad, is because that's just the way it's always been done. It's a habit. You pay, you get a name, you call. It feels like progress. It feels like you're doing something. But think about what you're actually buying. You're buying a name with zero trust, built towards you as a consultant. Zero education on where they actually are in the buying process. You have no idea if they're seriously ready to buy or if they clicked a button out of curiosity 6 months ago. And now you're forced to do all the heavy lifting. Build trust from scratch, educate them on the entire process, try to move them forward, while the same lead is getting called by 5, 10, 15 other consultants doing the exact same thing. You're not buying leads, you're renting the hope that one of them works out. And the worst part, you've built nothing. You stop paying and everything stops. It's like renting a house. You never own anything. And here's the part that nobody in the space is really talking about yet. The broker model is under pressure, and this is in my opinion. The franchise broker slowdown. How did we get here? The broker model made sense for years, but a lack of transparency and rising costs and subpar leads pushed many franchisors away. That's not me saying that. That's the publisher of 1851 Franchise saying that. Now think about what you're dealing with right now. Every lead source you're using is saturated. Portal sells the same leads to 10 to 15 consultants. Broker networks route the same candidates to multiple people. Every channel you're paying into, someone else is paying into the exact same one, competing for the exact same person. Now, here's what almost nobody in this industry has figured out yet. There's a lead source right now that is completely unsaturated. Candidates are on YouTube every single day typing how to buy a franchise. How does the franchise process work? How much does a franchise cost? Those searches are happening. The demand is real. And right now, almost no franchise consultant has a real presence on the other end of those searches. That means if you show up, those candidates are yours, not shared with 15 other consultants, not sold to the highest bidder. They're yours because no one else is there. That's the difference between a saturated lead source and an unsaturated one. Portals are a room with 15 consultants fighting over one person. YouTube right now is a room with thousands of candidates and no consultants. That gap won't last forever, but right now it's wide open. This is not me telling you to do what other franchise consultants are doing. Nobody is doing this. That's the opportunity. So if you move now, you can be the consultant who builds a presence on the platform when there is literally zero competition from any other consultant. Every piece of content you put out ranks easier. Every search term is open. Every candidate who finds you has no one to compare you to. Wait until someone else is in your market, proves it works. Wait until 3 or 4 consultants in your city all have channels. Wait until the results are crowded and the game is harder. Then try to catch up while they've been compounding for 2 years. The franchisers are already moving there. The candidates are already searching there. The only question is whether a consultant is going to be there to meet them. And right now, that consultant can be you because nobody else has claimed it. Every month that you stay on portals is a month someone else is building the position that should belong to you. The consultants who win here are the ones who move before it's obvious. That's always how it works. Now, if you already see the gap and you think that you want a YouTube system built for either your practice or yourself, click the first link in the description. We handle everything from the ideas, the scripts, the editing, the posting, the SEO. So all you have to do is record. Now let's look at the proof that this actually works. Go type how to buy a franchise into YouTube right now. What do you see? Hour-long podcast episodes, franchise consultants sitting in front of a mic having a rambling conversation for 60 minutes. Random creators who's never placed anyone, outdated content from 2019. Now think about that from the candidate's perspective. They typed a specific question into YouTube. They want a clear answer, and what they get is a 1-hour podcast where they have to sit through the whole thing just to maybe find the information they were looking for. That's not education. That's homework. Now imagine instead they find a 10-minute video hyper targeted to one question: how to buy a franchise. Here's the process from start to finish. Direct, clear, answers exactly what they searched for. By the time that video ends, they understand the process, they trust the person who explained it to them, and they're ready to take the next step. That's what actually lowers time to award. Not more content, better content. Shorter, more focused, built around one question per video instead of cramming everything into a podcast nobody ever finishes. I have a client in a different niche. Same dynamics as franchise consultant. High ticket, education heavy, long process. Candidates have to trust you before they say yes. We built him 8 videos over about 2 months. Then he took a month off, went on vacation, came back, got sick, and stopped recording completely. During that time, he was still booking 1 to 2 sales calls every single day from 8 videos while posting nothing. Now he did that in a tiny niche with barely any search volume compared to franchise consulting. So apply that to your world. Let's say you post one video targeting how to buy a franchise. It ranks, it doesn't go viral, it gets 500 views over a few months, but those 500 people all type that question into YouTube. They're not tire kickers. They're actively researching a life decision. Even a small percentage of those viewers reaching out to you is a completely different kind of candidate than what you're getting off of portals. They searched, they found you, they watched you explain the process for 10 minutes. They chose to reach out. Nobody sold them your name on a list. Nobody else is calling them at the same time. And by the time they get on the phone with you, they already know what you do. They already trust you, and they've already gotten past basic education. That first call is not you pitching them, it's you matching them with a brand. So right here I have a chart where I'm comparing spending money on a portal versus spending money on a video. Now I'm not saying that $16,000 would get you 8 to 12 videos. It'd probably even get you more than that, realistically. But here, let's break down the numbers. So the lifespan of your money, once you put the money into a lead portal, it's gone within 90 days. But when you put money into evergreen YouTube videos, right? These videos are working for like maybe 5 years, right? And then what you own, once you give that money to the lead portal, like you literally have nothing to your name, right? You don't own anything anymore. But what you have when you put money into YouTube videos is you have 8 to 12 videos that are sales assets that can be used in the nurturing process. Whether you're email blasting someone, you're following up with them, you're using it as a sales asset to help educate them. The lead quality from portals, they're shared, right? The competition is very high where they're getting shared with multiple different franchise consultants. They're cold and they're unaware. Whereas a lead finding you off of a YouTube video, they searched for that exact term. They're warm to you because they just watched a 10-minute video of you explaining the whole entire process to them, and they're educated. The competition for portals is 10 to 15 other consultants at a time reaching out to the same exact lead, whereas the video, it's 0 at a time. There's no competition here. The trust on the first call is 0 with lead portals. You have to build this from scratch, right? But for a video, you've spent around like 30 minutes making one YouTube video that's getting shared multiple times and reaching multiple different people. So this is already established. The trust on the first call, they've already watched you now. They've become warm to you. They've seen your face. You've already been educating them and pre-handling their objections. Now, after you stop paying, everything stops with lead portals, right? Whereas with YouTube videos, it keeps compounding, right? These are sales assets. You can constantly use them in the sales cycle. So stack 4 videos a month, 12 videos in 3 months, each one targeting a different search, each one a net that stays in the water permanently. That's the math. And right now, nobody in your industry is doing it. So I have to be completely honest that I did just sign my first franchise consultant. He saw this gap before anyone else did. And I hopped in a sales call with another prospect recently, and he said that he did not want me to be his project, essentially. He didn't want to be the first person to go. Whereas the other guy joined the call and he asked, hey, did you do this for any other franchise consultants? Which I told him the truth about, which was no. And he said, perfect, that's really good because there's 0 competition here, right? So that means whoever is the second person to work with me, you're the second consultant in this low competition space that I'll be working with to build a foundation on with YouTube. Right now, there are 2 pilot spots at a discounted price left. And once those 2 spots go, the price will raise. So if you want this built for either your practice or for yourself, click the link in the description. We'll handle everything from the ideation, the scripting, the editing, the posting, the SEO. We'll handle everything for you. So all you have to do is hop in front of the camera and record. And I know what everyone's thinking, I don't have time for this. Well, usually our process takes anyone around 2 to 4 hours a month of recording time. So if you're looking to get the system implemented into your business, click the first link in the description.